Midday, 18th of January, 2017. The deaths of Yaqub Musa al-Kian and Erez Levi did not stop the demolitions planned for al-Hiran. A few hours after the incident, the authorities demolished a number of houses, including that of Abu al-Kian's mother. The rest of the village is scheduled for destruction by the end of September 2018. The story of the village of al-Hiran is not unique. Around 35 Bedouin villages, home to over 100,000 Bedouin citizens, are still illegalized and unrecognized by Israel. These communities are not marked on maps, they are not serviced by infrastructure, and many are being demolished to make way for new Jewish settlements. Among these villages is al-Araqib, located some 20 kilometers west of al-Hiran. For several decades, its inhabitants have been leading the struggle for Bedouin land rights. The authorities claim that al-Araqib did not exist prior to the founding of Israel in 1948. According to these claims, the families who lived in the village were nomadic and did not own their lands, therefore making them trespassers on state property. On July 26, 2010, nearly 1,000 Israeli policemen raided al-Araqib and demolished it to the ground. That very evening, the families returned and rebuilt their homes. 8 years on, this cycle of destruction and rebuilding has been repeated more than 130 times. While their land rights claims are debated in court, trees are being planted on the site of their homes. Under the Zionist slogan of making the desert bloom, forests are used to erase traces of previous Bedouin inhabitation and preempt their return. On January 1st, 2016, together with the residents of al-Araqib and the NGO Zokrot, we organised a Truth Commission as an alternative forum meant to collect and present historical evidence and contemporary land survey in support for the villagers' struggle for their land.
הם באים עם 1,700 שוטרים, עם מטוסים, מעצר מקומי, בית חולים נייד, עם כוחות, קמנדו, מטוסים באוויר, אבצ'י נחתו פה בכפר אל-עראקיב. מה אנחנו? מדינה אחרת באים ללחם? סך הכל אנחנו אזרחים.
אנחנו מבקשים את הזכות שלנו, זכות הכרה מלאה באדמה שלנו. אנחנו לא מחפשים לא כסף ולא להעביר אותנו לשום מקום אחר.
السلام عليكم. أنا دكتور عواد أبو فريح، عواد جراد سويلم جراد أبو فريح الطوري من العراقيب. طبعا أنا أملك مستندات كثيرة جدا. هنا يوجد بعض من المستندات حول أرضنا في العراقيب. هذه المستندات تدل على ملكيتنا وعلى وجودنا في العراقيب منذ مئات إن لم يكن آلاف السنوات. تثبت أولا بالتوقيع الشهود وبالطوابع البريدية للدولة العثمانية وللدولة البريطانية فيما بعد.
We collected testimonies, photographs, and deeds of ownership as evidence for Bedouin continuity of presence in the area. An important source for this survey was a series of aerial images taken by the British military during the end of World War II. On the 5th of January 1945, Royal Air Force Flight No. 13 left Port Said Airport in Egypt, and from an altitude of 15,000 feet, captured a series of aerial images of the northern Negev. The images reveal extensive Bedouin cultivation of the area, capturing fields, livestock pens, tents, terracing, and stone houses. Lighter areas on the images are small mounds of earth surrounding the openings of wells. All these traces are evidence of Bedouin inhabitation of the area that predates the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948. It is difficult to confirm the persistence of these elements today using publicly available satellite photographs. Under an agreement between the governments of Israel and the United States, satellite imagery over Israel and Palestine is only made public in a resolution that makes invisible many evidentiary elements. Seeking an alternative to satellite imagery, we began a collaborative aerial photographic survey in partnership with the families of al-Araqib. The survey provides up-to-date aerial images of the material remains of Bedouin life and cultivation before they disappear under planted forests. Documenting these disappearing traces can be understood as a kind of emergency archaeology. We capture aerial photographs with our feet firmly on the ground, using devices made from kites, rubber bands, and simple cameras held in plastic bottles. We call these community satellites. Through a computational process known as photogrammetry, this collection of images is then transcoded to create an accurate and navigable model of the terrain. Each data point is precisely located in three-dimensional space, adding up to a point cloud, a photographic environment devoid of a central, privileged perspective. We repeated these photographic surveys several times, in both winter and summer months, and superimposed the results on top of the 1945 British Aerial Survey. The stone houses, wells, cisterns, and cemeteries identified on the 1945 images correspond to those mapped by our contemporary survey. The results form the organizing structure of an expanding online archive placed within an interactive platform. Here, the location of each archaeological remain is supplemented by description and narratives provided by the village inhabitants, as well as by experts and researchers. The platform has been designed to support future legal land claims in court. It is a growing resource that testifies to the continuous inhabitation and cultivation of the area by Bedouin communities.